The World Cup's in full swing, and I love Fallout New Vegas, so here's a fun idea for a challenge. I can only use weapons that I can find actual World Cup players holding in real life. If I cannot find a photo of them holding it, then it's off limits. But I will also be allowing everyday items, cause everybody's touched a straight razor or a knife before. As for things like flamethrowers or rifles, well, those aren't as common, so you get the idea. And I'll be playing on very hard difficulty with hardcore mode on. And that begs the question, can you beat Fallout New Vegas? As a World Cup player? A tickle to the brain and the weird dream later in the career novel lives to be called up to the 2026 Football World Cup. The one that's played with your feet and watched by the entire world, and so the tale of David Backcheese begins. With 8 in endurance, agility and luck, 7 in strength and intelligence, and 1 in both perception and charisma. His best skills are melee weapons, speech, and unarmed. And the traits that most define him are good-natured and skilled. Doc Mitchell patched me up, gave me my belongings back, added the Pip-Boy and the vault suit on top, and I've gotta use clothes and armor that actually fit a World Cup player. No mods. I'm thinking pre-war clothing, but I am playing on very hard, so we'll see. But yeah, power armor training is a no-go. I also thought about the food and 8 items, but the only excuse I'd have for Steam packs would be Kyle Walker playing Fallout 76, which would have been fine had the right back been called up to play for England. He wasn't. So we'll get to eat whatever the Mojave throws our way. And whilst I decided not to ban all cams, I say that Buff Out and Psycho are out. I can sell them, I cannot use them. And let's face it, if making a challenge harder for no reason helped the video, the Nuka World at level 1 on survival starting with no items would have had more views than New Vegas as a villain. And it didn't. So now I'm trying a trending topic just to see what happens. And I looted everything that I deemed useful in both Doc Mitchell's house and in the entire town of Good Springs. I equipped the pre-war hat, a pre-war spring outfit, and I gathered the first batch of useless weapons. Turns out that it's really hard to find a picture of a celebrity holding a tire iron, a lead pipe, or a rolling pin. Technically, all those could count as everyday items, but I'll be ignoring them. Even though I just know one of them's bound to have been hit by a rolling pin thanks to gentle parenting. Ignore the throwing spears and the shotgun, chat simply didn't have enough caps. Straight razor, I refuse to look it up. You know they grow beards, and you know they don't pluck it hair by hair. Finding someone holding a shovel was being mission impossible. Until I found a Canadian goalie that was not called up. No, come on. That's going into everyday items, cause at best, if it snows, they gotta shovel it. Or at the very least, well, some of them have kids. And kids play with plastic toy shovels that parents buy. And here's Holland with a knife. I couldn't find anyone holding a machete, even though one of them's bound to have held one, so I'll also be banning it. And I did find Harry Kane wearing some boxing gloves. And I've done kickboxing, so I know for a fact that he's wearing boxing tape underneath. After trimming some mantises and playing Wordle, I got me a stealth boy and went on to meet Sunny. And she went on a hunger strike until I shot 3 bottles using a varmint rifle. Good thing that's not combat, and Joe Mama's done being nice.
I'm done being nice.
I made some more caps, repaired Trudy's radio, got the snow globe, and I visited the old apartment where I found the first clue that Benny left behind. In the gas station we meet Ringo. Joe Cobb is looking for him, and we're gonna lend a hand. He says that the two of us aren't enough to fight off the powder gangers, which, come on man, I got called up to the World Cup, my entire country's watching and relying on me. Then a guy named Ringo shows up, and he isn't. Sunny didn't need convincing. Trudy cannot help but like me. Easy Pete wants me to do it the hard way. Chet waited for me to read a magazine. I got to level 2, put all of the points into melee, cause I cannot kick anyone. I took the confirmed bachelor perk for the extra damage against men. Doc Mitchell threw me a handful of Steam packs. And I went on to train my dribbling, knowing full well I've already used my one joke of a World Cup that's actually played and watched by the entire world. Oh, and Victory's a liar. So when the powder gangers attacked, I just kept gripping my straight razor. I went at it. 2 of them went down, and when I tried to give Cobb death by 1,000 cuts, he showed me how reliable this is when compared to anything that puts holes in you. So I decided to be stubborn. I just fell back a bit and let the townsfolk do most of the job as I made sure that Cheyenne wouldn't go down. Cause otherwise I'd never hear the end of it. The entire town ganging up on Joe Cobb didn't give him a fair chance. Which, good. Fuck him. And the straight razor finished off the last of the powder gangers. Ringo thanked me, told us to stop by the Crimson Caravan later, And as I was staring at our newfound dynamite, I knew I wouldn't find any pictures with it. And that if I used firecrackers as an excuse/joke, well, let's just say I know exactly where you'd sent me. Well, we could have had booms. And these weapons suck, so I pulled a veteran. I went past the gas station, climbed the hill. No clue where the coyote pup went. And not long after, I found a grave by chance. Literally. Chance's knife. Bonus critical chance, baby. This one is great, but only on the early game. Though, hey, it's a knife. In Gene, I collected the 3rd star cup of the run. I found some boxing tape and a cleaver. Did I find a picture? No. Has at least one of them ever touched the cleaver? I'd be extremely surprised if not one did it. And in Prim, an NCR trooper tells me that town's off limits because it got overrun by escaped convicts. I disarmed the mines, gave you an example of the difference between football and hugball, and our new toy is a beacon of hope. Though, to be fair, these guys are super weak. In the Vicky and Vance casino, we discovered that Johnson Nash was the one that gave us the platinum chip job that led to a headshot. The sheriff's dead, but a deputy's been taken hostage. Most importantly, he's seen the men we're after. In the Bison Steve Hotel, I made sure to try my best to deal with the convicts one by one, so they wouldn't stand a chance, and I even got a barter skill book. I equipped the baseball bat, cause it's more sporty. Plus, it's impossible not to have at least one player in the World Cup that hasn't ever worn one before. But before I knew it, I was running away from Dynamite. And when I was focusing on the leader, he was put down by friendly fire. One of his own men was hellbent on celebrating a late 4th of July. Not that I needed any help, and as for the deputy...
I don't suppose you came here to rescue me. I'd cross my fingers, but my hands are numb.
Beagle somehow thinks he's in a position to bargain with me. He isn't. I stole the holotape instead of risking an injury, and I learned that many in the great cons he hired were headed to Novak through Nipton. In Jackrabbit Springs, I found a free stealth boy. It was just there for the taking, and who won the lottery? He did. And then he ran straight to Red Scorpions. As for boxcars, well, he's gonna have to wait for the Special Olympics if he wants to play most sports. In the center of Nipton we meet Vulpes. He wants me to tell the NCR how much the Legion hates hookers and blackjack. As if anyone needed excuses to insult the baddies, here they go and ruin a perfectly good town, while dressing as a furry that enjoys a breeze. Sergeant Kilborn is a doomer. I kept improving melee for level 3 and usually I just follow the Legion. I mean, I know the path, that's not the thing. I just don't know where they went. On Wolfhorn Ranch, I found another skill book and chopper, a unique cleaver that I'll just sell later, cause Chance's knife is better. Then, as I finally found some traveling merchants so I could offload the rest of the armor and weapons I cannot use even if I wanted to, they decided that this was the perfect time to chase 2 completely unrelated Legion guys. So I waited, and ignored the knives I bought. Turns out, Chance's knife can only be repaired by the combat variant. And in Searchlight, First Sergeant Aster tells me that much like Vulpes, the town here too is cosplaying except as a microwave. He recommended we go to Novak instead, and what a coincidence, cause that was the plan either way. I dribbled the Gecko, got past Ranger Station Charlie, and arrived safely at Novak knowing that I've already ignored 3 Raider ambushes. There is a couple things I want to do in here, like getting the medicine skill book, steal a rolling pin, and helping Boone give away a free haircut. Oh, and here's Victor.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit.
You're a biscuit. Back to Boone. Jeannie May sold his pregnant wife into slavery. Boone, he thought it would be merciful to give her one last kiss on the forehead, using his sniper rifle. One for my baby is a bit of a dark name for that quest, and of course that I got a motel room for 100 caps. I also stole Manny's holotape. I also poked the rock.
What the fuck are you doing? My brother died at the Battle of Hoover Dam. You're desecrating a war memorial.
My bad.
Alright, apology accepted.
What? I've seen people sharpen knives with specific rocks. I don't know how that works, there wasn't anything like that in Chance's grave. I walked a bit more, visited Hoover Dam and grabbed the snow globe. I'm just practicing holding trinkets before the cups in my hands. And that's when I remembered that I got the motel room but forgot to heal, so... yeah. As for Lieutenant Monroe, he's got a situation with the same cons we're after. 2 of his men were taken hostage, but the cons are cornered and surrounded from all sides. Bit of a pickle and we can mediate the conflict. So I went on to confront Jessup.
What the hell? You're that courier Benny wasted back in Good Springs. You're supposed to be dead.
Yeah, well, I got better. Turns out that Benny betrayed them. They genuinely didn't know what they were getting into. And this is enough to get me through levels 4 and 5. I put the points into melee and speech, cause there's a gag I want to do later, and I took the educated perk. I convinced Jessup to let go of the hostages in return for him and his buddy to be allowed to leave, and he thanked me with Benny's lighter. I also took the bandana from the other Khan that was feeling unwell despite his lack of complaining. Outside, Monroe's got another situation. McCarran radioed in, and they want the Khans dealt with. I just had to tell him to shut up and honor the deal instead of backstabbing them right after getting the hostages back. And then came a stalker, Malcolm fucking Holmes, and the audacity to tell me he's been stalking me. I pulled up York. Well, no. I pulled what every single really famous celebrity always thought of doing to their paparazzi. Personally, I think they should be allowed to do it, but only once and only if it's broadcasted. One freebie, and then came Victor, right after. I'm not this famous to be followed by this many people. What the hell, man? But I made it to the 188 trading post, made a hard left, and kept going until I got the El Dorado substation map marker for later. I got back on track, invited my favorite keychain for a walking simulator, gave a kid 100 pennies for his thoughts, and I fast traveled back to Gene. An NCR ranger gave me a radio, so I too could listen to the other games. And immediately after, the nearby powder gangers start shooting at him, and I got confused. I killed Joe Cobb. These guys should hate me. Honestly, I thought they were shooting at me, but they weren't. Not those two, not the guy by the trailer, or the two that ran to him, not even the other two near the train car by Sloan. Thanks, I guess? And I'm once again asking, and this is not rhetorical, what kind of name is Chomps? But I will heed his advice and ignore the death clause, all the while pretending it was a choice. And here's Snuffles, she's a cutie. I passed her leg, and this is too much goodwill, man. To balance my cosmic karma, I stole 2 skill books and 2 trunks full of caps. And in their workshop, I went after scrap metal and scrap electronics, cause I've got something in mind, but everything in its due time. On the way to Hidden Valley, I had to make sure I was the one dealing with the Bark Scorpions cause I don't need Veronica for combat. Plus, World Cup players have a ton of chicks and she's really helpful, so I'm gonna reward her later. She gets Paladin Ramos to open up the door. That unlocks the Brotherhood of Steel Bunker 2 as here in Hidden Valley, but Paladin Ramos outright says that he's not too happy having an outsider walking around. Well, I'm not here to piss you off or to give you extra work, so we'll be on our way. In Novak, I found a couple of sensor modules, and back in Prim, I got me a football. And it shoots lasers. The arms merchant didn't have anything that I could get, so I just sold her some junk I wouldn't use, and from here until the NCR sharecropper farms, we just gotta stick to the roads in order not to fight a single enemy. I went past Camp McCarran and the El Rey Motel right into Finn territory, cause over here, there's a little something else that we can get. I just don't know if it's gonna be an upgrade yet. The first fiend goes down, and damn, so did I. I've been rocking absolutely 0 armor and it was all fine and dandy until now, but leather armor only has 6 damage threshold, which isn't much, so that's fine. We can just pretend it's a leather jacket. Something nice that happened was that I got a couple combat knives cause I've been using Chance's knife a lot, and if you don't repair your weapon, it starts doing less damage after a while. One guy thought breakdancing was still on the Olympics, but it's driver Nephi we're after. Cause here's Christian Pulisic holding a golf club. I got Nephi's golf driver. And hey, it'll make sense later. I got to level 6, kept improving melee, took the toughness perk, and at this point I decided to go after the other 2 named fiends. Cook goes berserk if Queenie dies, and let's just say that while Queenie did nothing wrong, Cook is a piece of shit of the worst kind. And by berserk, I mean he attacks his own men. No unique weapon though. And no picture of anyone with a flamethrower. But that was head number 2, and so I went on to go after Violet and her horde of mongrels. The Fiend Guard dogs didn't pose a threat. Violet herself was a bit distracted, so she gave me her head. There's a really cheap joke I could have made, but I'm feeling mature today. Then came Violetta. I got brains after getting head. I had to. And it is for a quest I won't be doing, but I really did get the doggo's brains. In Red Rock Canyon, the Great Khan settlement, I got both the map marker, the turbo, and the medics they had laying around. It's free and it could come in handy during a certain bombardment. in Camp McCarran, and since I beat the ever-living hell out of Cook, we might as well help Corporal Betsy. Well, to be perfectly honest, I only did this because I couldn't find Major Daughtry, and since I found everybody else, and since I'm gonna go to the New Vegas Medical Clinic either way, it was a 2-in-1. I get the experience points, and she gets the experience of knowing Cook's demise. A medicine magazine helped me convince her. I actually had to sleep to find Daughtry. I gave him the 3 heads, even though Violet's was unrecognizable, and that got me some extra caps. For level 7, I maxed melee and kept improving speech, which, to be clear, I will not be using to avoid fighting Lanius. And here comes Ringo, doubling our reward for helping him all the way back in Good Springs. Dr. Uzanagi agrees to help Betsy. The journey to Jacobstown was a bore. I fought a couple of mantises though, met Marcus and Lily, but I'm only here for the snow globe. I want them all. The next one's up in Nellis, but along the way, one of the Mad Brahmin attacks you on sight. Well, funny enough, weird shenanigans happened once again. There were supposed to be 3 hamburgers for me to tenderize. I never saw the other 2 cows. But I got Abilene from Field Shack, because I can just sell it later. And here comes George, the boomer that's not really part of the boomers. He wants to make a bet, and I don't want to get banned from the entire tournament. World Cup players cannot bet on the World Cup, obviously. I also always forget to come back for my money, so I got his caps using an alternative method. And since I love barbecue when I'm not the meat, I used the 2 turbo to get near the gate. Got addicted to turbo, told Raquel I'm not an enemy of the boomers, and she takes us to their elder.
I've been waiting a good 5 years for an outsider to come along and visit.
Well, it's not because of the location, I can tell you that. I saw a couple of skeletons on the way. She wants me to do a lot for them, and I just want the snow globe that it's in their museum. Dr. Uzanagi helped me with the turbo addiction. I bartered with her and with the Gunrunner's Vendertron, and in Freeside, of course, that I went to the Old Mormon Fort for yet another snow globe. Then I went into the King's School of Impersonation, cause Sergio's got a unique straight razor, Figaro, and he won't be needing it. Couple of thugs then tried to mug me. Old Ben follows that by warning us not to go past the Securitrons without talking to them first. And we even get to see a squatter enjoy the only rights they should have. I passed the 2000 cap check. Victor's back. We are invited to go and meet Mr. House in the Lucky 38, but first, I made it into Gamora. The plan was simply to go buy turbo in case I'll need it later, but since they take away our weapons, I use this opportunity to see which of mine count as holdout weapons. Seems that getting Figaro was a very wise choice, and Billy's got jokes.
It's hard to sleep in this place, I tell you. Last night, some girl was pounding on my door all night. Finally, I had to let her out. What?
Okay, thank you, Billy. I got the free magazines, went into the Vault 21 gift shop, stole Sarah's bedroom key cards, cause for some reason that's the location of another snow globe, and in the Ultra Lux, I told the White Gloves greeter that if they want my weapons, they're gonna have to take them from me. I just wanted a reason to fight them. In fact, I got a couple reasons for that. First, tuxedos and formal wear fit the run. We're gonna have to dress nice once we win the World Cup. Second, canes are fine, cause that's basically a walking stick for when players get injured. Third, Veronica really wants a dress, and by dress she means formal wear. And yep, this sure is Fallout. Melee's awesome unless it's melee on melee. Then it's hilariously stupid cause anything blocks everything. Anyways, Mortimer had the last worst day of his life as a cannibal.
Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress?
Is it?
For me? Do you mean it? No, it's too much. Well, okay, but it's too much. Oh, it's perfect. Thank you.
Veronica's happy, she teaches us an unarmed move, and I went into the Lucky 38. I got the golden gloves. They're horrible, but they are unique, and I can use them if I want to, so I got them. The meeting with Mr. House wasn't as awkward as you'd expect. Sure, we were supposed to be delivering the platinum chip, but it was one of his subordinates that betrayed him. He offers to quadruple the money upon delivery, 1,000 caps if we get the chip back from Benny. This got me to level 8, I kept improving what I told you, and I got the awesome Super Slam perk. On the cocktail lounge, I got the last snow globe, and on the presidential suites, I took a rest. And then I sold every single snow globe to Jane for 14,000 caps. And I cannot wait to show you the toys I'm buying for the endgame, but first, we've got to get revenge on Benny. Outside, an NCR trooper wants me to go and meet the ambassador. I declined. Eddie and Veronica were forced to be on standby. I told the ball to tag along and the last to go enjoy room service.
Nice.
In the tops, the greeter disarms me, but that's fine because I went straight to Swank, the second in command. And I clued him in on Benny's plan to betray Mr. House. These guys would much rather keep their cozy casino than to go back to wandering the Mojave. I used my silver tongue, showed him all of the clues, and Swank told me to go and see if there was anything incriminating on Benny's room, and there was. A whole Securitron that cannot say no. Yes, man. We learned about the entire plan to overtake the strip, and that got me thinking. An army of Securitrons. And every single one of them can broadcast the World Cup? Sign me up. Though I couldn't, for the life of me, finish the side bets quest. I've already met all of the factions, and usually talking to Mortimer's enough for the White Glove Society, but I didn't talk to Mortimer. Well, now I know that I gotta go back and bonk Marjorie. No one was mad. Maybe I could have just had a chat with her, but I wanted to give Figaro a go. Yes Man gave me the XP, I told Swank I'm gonna have my revenge on Benny, and he created an excuse to have the idiot ditch his bodyguards and go to his room.
What in the goddamn?
Oh, and the chairman gave me all of my weapons back, so I gave Chance's knife a well-deserved farewell. The platinum chip has been retrieved. I got to level 9. Swank's happy cause he just became the boss of the chairman. And I made a detour into the Tops' presidential suite cause I found a picture of Ronaldo holding a pool cue. Outside, Vulpes shows up once again, this time to give us the Mark of Kaiser. We've been invited by the man himself to visit him on Fortification Hill. Back to the gun runners to spend my nearly 20,000 caps on a chainsaw and all the mods for it I can find. How? Why? Erling Braut Haaland. I found a picture of him holding one. And that's not all, I found a katana too. Thank you, Haaland. Other vendors had some more weapon mods. And I went back to Searchlight so we can make our journey to Cottonwood Cove. Along the way is the reason why I didn't much care about machetes. Fire axes and knock knock are on the menu as well, cause once again, Haaland. The guy is funny as fuck, but a chainsaw and a katana is bound to guarantee me some fun. And yes, of course I knew that I'd be playing as a Viking the whole time. I used the katana on the ghoul troopers and kept on going. I showed the Mark of Kaiser to a Legion Explorer, and since I'm here, go on, say it, I wanna hear my favorite voice line.
When will we be free?
Say it again.
When will we be free?
It's the way she says it, man. God damn it. In a minute, cause Kyon Runner is too busy telling me to go meet Kaiser while he still has a few hairs left. And so I told Lucullus to start rowing. He told me to start disarming. There's only one chance at a first impression and Kaiser decides to start listing every single achievement I ever did. I know, man, I'm me. And he then goes on about his lifelong dream of feeling the ground shake. He wants me to destroy whatever's in the old bunker under the fort. He knows it's connected to Mr. House, and on the way, I stole Sergeant Teddy so we can do a good deed. Melody's got her plushie back. And in the weather monitoring station, all of our weapons and stimpaks have been returned to us. After using the platinum chip, beyond the door, Mr. House, he shows up on a screen and asks us to do the opposite. He warns that he cannot control the vault's defenses, but that we need to upgrade his Securitrons using the chip. And I've gotta be honest, I didn't plan a gag for Kylian Mbappe. I just thought it would be funny to talk about a dictator after meeting another. That sounded a lot more fitting than making a Ninja Turtle joke. And since we're at it, did y'all see Lionel Messi's pizza order that got viral? What in the spectrum is this shit? Hi, can I have 3 entire tomatoes and can you draw me a little compass rose with only onions and olives? Anyways, all the Protectrons were easy to deal with, but I could have done without the turrets exploding after one too many swings. I had to use a couple of rataways and my medicine skill is a lot lower than I'd like, so I just popped some turbo to do the upgrade. The guard disarms me once again, but who's all happy and giggly?
I felt the ground shake a while ago.
Skirt Boy now wants me to take Mr. House out of the picture and this triggers level 10. After maxing speech, I put the rest of the points into medicine and I got the Fight the Power perk. Back in the Mojave, I did pay Kyon Runner for the weather's freedom.
When will we be free?
Now, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Upon returning to the Lucky 38, I decided to give the platinum chip to Mr. House. I only upgraded the Securitron army under the fort. He actually has to install the chip on the network for his active Securitrons to get to their Mark II as well. And after the unskippable demonstration, he just gives you the chip back. That's another level up, and I went straight to the terminal that led me into the empty chamber. The Securitrons start shooting at me, but they don't follow us inside. I invited Mr. House to come breathe some fresh air with me, but he's a bit of a germaphobe, so I beat him with a golf club. As sadistic as that sounds, hey, that's actually an in-game achievement. And since there's a vacancy in the Lucky 38, I invited Yes Man to come over. It seems that the NCR president, Aaron Kimball, might get attacked by the Legion. I don't care about that. And it also seems that we need to install another chip, this time to override the power from the substation and to redirect it to the fort. So that's what I did. The NCR didn't like it one bit. They too started shooting. And I wanted to test something. I popped the Stealth Boy, and without leaving the Pip-Boy, the game let me fast travel out of there. Kinda goofy, but hey, I'm sold. For level 12, I got the second rank of the toughness perk, and it's time for the second battle of Hoover Dam. Oh, and Kimball died. Just like the Great Khans near Hoover Dam's entrance. Cause I kept using the katana, I'm saving the chainsaw for the Legate's camp. The Kenturians' damage resistance was a lot bigger than I enjoyed seeing. It's giving flashbacks of fighting Joe Cobb with a straight razor all over again. And then they got me. The way I see it, I've got two choices. Either I improve my armor, or I run. I chose to run. Cause these guys don't follow you into the offices. I convinced the NCR heavy troopers that Colonel Cassandra Moore needed backup. And I'm once again installing a chip. This time to grant Yes Man control over the dam. The randos before the switch were nothing. Our Securitron army's been activated, and on the east side of the dam, the Securitrons can take care of the Kenturians. You don't really have to do anything. But I did notice one of them had a chainsaw, so I took it. Even though there isn't a single scenario where I'm gonna need to use it for repairs. But on the Legate's camp, I equipped my modded one. It melted the first Praetorian, and I swung it at the second one so hard, the guy started moonwalking and I didn't see where he went. I lost him. But instead of sticking around to find out, as everyone's shooting at me, I just made a run to Lannius. Speech 80 allows you to request a fair fight, one-on-one. Instead of, you know, me, a football and a TV with wheels against like 20 douchebags. And then he beat me. Melee on melee is atrocious and he packs that much of a punch. I'm still wearing leather armor, man. But my only mistake was to have cared about the chainsaw. On the second attempt, I just snuck a hit in. I immediately healed, changed to the katana, and I kept going at it until Super Slam knocked Lannius down. And it seems I was really hell-bent on using the chainsaw, which made for a bad combo and he knocked me down in return. So I did it again, and this time I just kept bashing his armor with a sword. That's 100% not cutting him in any way, but that will 100% kill him because video game logic. Oh, and Eddie didn't listen to the whole fair fight thing, he just kept helping. And I've got to ask, if there's a weapon I could have used, or argued thanks to a fun fact that I didn't know, well, let me know how much easier this could have been. And here comes General Lee Oliver, doing the slowest of walks. Going over nearly every single swear word in the English language. The cigar is a lie, and he's getting thrown off the dam. As for the question, can you beat Fallout New Vegas as a World Cup player? Of course you can. As always, remember to check the channel and the playlist for more videos, and if you want to help me out, just click that like button, leave a comment, or join as a member if that is something you would do. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Steve Whittle, to John Walker, to Glitchtail, to Devin Lowery, to Zoxys, to Dancing Peach, to Carter Moore, and to you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I'll see you on the next one. And I hope you have a good one. Bye.
And I guess I'll see you around. We accomplished a lot together. It was fun. Take care.